So when you're living your life in an attempt to be righteous, you will clearly see all of the unrighteousness around you. Is this making sense? If you are trying to be righteous, you will clearly see how much stuff around you is not righteous. It's not right. This is evil. That is evil. That person's up to no good. This person's up to no good. And when you're constantly facing that, if you're not careful, all of that energy can make you decide to go down that same path. That's a temptation for the righteous. And so I want to strongly suggest tonight in this particular live, and I won't keep you too long, it should be about a half an hour. Don't let evil people make you evil. Let me say that tonight on this platform. Do not let evil people make you evil. And that is a trick of the enemy. It's to basically taunt you. And in essence, I'll say, oh yeah, you want to be righteous? I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to try to disrespect you. People will constantly dig at you when they see that you're trying to do the right thing. And that's an evil force behind that that's trying to pull you down to that low vibration. And so you're going to have to be very intentional. And I would say to add to that, you have to begin to ask yourself some questions. Why do you do what you do? Why do you want to be righteous? What is your motive? What is your goal? What is your why? And when you have that in place, you don't allow the negativity, the evil of others to become who you are. In other words, their perception doesn't have to become your reality. Everyone can have their opinion. That's what it is. It's just that, an opinion. But their opinion and their perception doesn't have to become your reality as a person who wants to be righteous. And so I have seen this happen to so many people in my years of experience. I have seen good girls turn to evil because they were misused by men. I have seen men who were hurt by women get to a place where they hate all women. And whenever you get to a place when that happens, that's a test in life you have experienced that you have failed. If you are a man and you hate all women, you have failed that test in life. You all can get quiet now. I'm not going to get any comments now. If you are a woman and you hate all men, you have failed that test in life. If you view all people, I'm going to come for you eventually. I'm going to get your attention. I know you're trying to hide. Come here. You're not going to run tonight. If you view everyone the same way, then that means that's a test in life that you have failed. And you have allowed that evil that you have experienced to become who you are. I know you don't like that. I know you don't like this message. I got one amen out of 80 guys. You have allowed that bad experience to taint your character, to taint your perspective. And now because of that, you're viewing people with this suspicion. You treat people in a way that you should not, and it's often contrary to your original character. That's what I mean by this talk tonight. In other words, we have to be careful that as the evil increases in the world, you don't. There has to be somebody on the earth that wants to be righteous. That has to be you. That has to be me. That has to be all of us. That's the purpose of this talk tonight. We are the light. We're the examples. And if we become evil, then who represents God? Who represents the Most High? There are a million people representing the devil. We can go down that path. I could spend an hour talking about that. Oh my goodness. The devil got his folks all over this earth planted and giving their perception on everything. So everywhere you look, there are examples of darkness. There are examples of evil living. There are examples of greed, examples of lust and treachery and betrayal. everywhere. So if you and I allow all of that to make us that, then who is the voice for the Most High God? Who is the example of a better way of life? Who's the example of character? Who's the example of, what's the word I want to use here? Virtue, honor, respect. You see, you and I cannot allow the darkness that we see, the darkness that we experience, to make us, listen to this, change teams, okay? And leave the Most High side and get on the devil's side. We can't do that. And that is a temptation. As a matter of fact, that is the goal of all the negative energy, to influence you and bring you over to their side. That's when we talk about spiritual warfare, that's what it is. There are a lot of people talking about spiritual warfare. That's what's happening. Spiritual warfare happens every single day. There is an invisible war raging in the earth that any person who's enlightened, any person who is in spirituality can see so clearly. So, how does a righteous person become evil? I'm glad you asked me. A righteous person becomes evil when they allow hateful people to also make them hateful. So let me explain. If you are a person who has a reputation for being kind, which is seen by weaknesses people, and that tells you something right there. If being kind is a bad thing, that tells you right there the type of world we live in. That ought to tell you something. If having kindness and compassion for other humans is seen as a sign of weakness, that right there lets you and I know how messed up this world has become. So if we allow those who are hateful, those who are evil, to make us evil, then we have failed that test that was given to us from the Most High. Let me say that. Life is all about tests. We're constantly getting tests every day, whether you realize it or not. I want to make that clear today. You as well as me, we are constantly being given tests. And that's the way it works. And when you pass that test, that's when you are elevated. That's when you go to the next level spiritually. When the test comes, the Most High God is watching you to see how you respond.